minutes you've given me, but because I don't have the details, I'm going to have to ask a lot of questions. So here they go. One of them, will you be using the entire 11.785 acres?
Yes, we will.
Okay, is anybody living on the property now?
Not that myself.
Okay, so what is the buffer from the construction yard screen fence to the residential lots?
It'll be 300 feet.
300 feet.
Would you step back up to the microphone so we can hear that? Thank you.
Yes, what up?
Thank you, sir. Do you mind if we pass this?
Oh, yeah, please.
Yeah, we have a small copy.
It's just not small.
Yeah, it's
That's
so small, I
small,
cannot
that
read the
is
numbers.
small.
Oh my God. And while that's, so the,
And you'll notice on the south side where the residential area is, the tree lines are, there will be no, as far as construction activity or plant site.
Yeah.
It's going to be more to the north. That would be office trailers and town hall.
so the 13 homes that back directly up 300 feet from their back fence, they'll see a 60 by 90 job trailer, another 60 by 90 job trailer, job office parking area for area 75, does that mean they'll park 75 vehicles? Okay. Employee parking area, 150 vehicles. And then down further, at the end of the corner there, right as Whitney takes a hook, it'll be the construction material storage area.
That is correct.
What hazardous chemicals are going to be contained in the construction material storage area?
The only thing that'd be in the construction materials area for storage would be rock. Rock. Gravel for the asphalt mixes.
Okay.
There'd be a natural, the new utilities will be brought closer in, natural gas will be brought in. Those utilities will be left for future development of the city for that area. And that's all in the, that's at our cost.
Gotcha. And then the asphalt batching plant will be, pretty much center and up closest to the empty land, closer to I-35. So do you currently have an easement or a right-of-way from the landowner to the north for direct access? So is that Penn Brothers?
Actually, it's going to be Texas Colorado.
Gonna be, but today it's Penn Brothers, so you don't have that easement today.
That is, I can't speak for Texas, I can go to that, but yes, we verify it.
And one of the reasons I'm interested in when Penn Brothers gets contacted is the Lakeview subdivision has a 99-year easement to that land. And nobody has contacted that homeowners association about replacing the landscaping, the irrigation, the 43 trees that are going to be knocked down, and who's going to pay to rebuild the entryway to our subdivision. We have not been contacted by TxDOT, so I'm just curious if Penn Brothers has it.
I can't answer for Texas.
Fair enough, and I don't want to get off target. I know that's not why we're here today. Thank you for providing this. That helps me understand a little bit. My eyes are really bad. I'm looking on a little screen that I had. Another question that I had. So you will be entering and exiting right directly onto the access road as well as directly onto Point Vista?
A lot of the phasing of the construction, the access road will be on, except for construction. That, in some of the phases it will be open, some of the phases it will be redone. The design is being completed for that. We're not saying that as of, say, you approve the SUP or whatever, tomorrow we're closing down, we're good. No, we're not saying that. It's going to come in phases. So you're not going to see, you're not going to sit there and listen to this stuff run for 36 months. It's just not going to happen. The asphalt area for the north end of the project is towards the end. But we have to start setting up and being ready for it.
Sure.
So it's not as if the homeowners are going to be listening here. And the tanks that we use nowadays, according to their noise compliance areas through the state, plus the DCD air quality permits, it's a little louder than a truck going down the highway. So we won't have lights shining towards the homes, right? Will there be activity in there 24 hours a day? Once the pavement operation starts, the plant may not be running 24 hours a day because of temperatures and stuff. We'll be there in the daytime working. But now, nighttime deliveries, yes, we have some trucks come in and bring gravel to us so we can go to work in the very next morning. Will there be people there? Yes, there will be police officers or security themselves. There will be 24-hour security in the area. stay there, secure.
Great. So back to the original question, how will this heavy equipment be entering into traffic? Will it be coming out onto Turboville, onto Point Vista, onto the I-35 access road, whether it's under construction, all three, or?
All three.
All three. Okay, so in our town, we have an ordinance to where, say, heavy oil and gas trucks come through here, we have to have a bond. But is it a bond or for Carrizo oil and gas?
They would not.
The overload permits, so.
They wouldn't be in your city, they'll be on textile right away.
So Point Vista is not a textile right away, you just said they'd be entering in all 3 points.
Well, where those areas are,
Yes, sir.
textile will acquire a lot of that right away for the ultimate design company. Those trucks won't be coming through your city and up and down. I'm thinking Point Vista's the next road up, but it's not. I got what you're at. They won't be coming up and down your city street.
So they'll only be coming up the area of Turboville.
Yeah, they'll come off the front road and
Textile
turn
right
into the
away.
yard there. It's not going to be, P&Z meeting, we went over, it's not going to be a construction stage yard for heavy equipment, mechanics, oil trucks, diesel trucks.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking, I wasn't told what type of trucks, I was just told heavy duty trucks, is that concrete trucks, is that gravel haulers, is it
The
just?
big gravel haulers coming in, but again, they'll be coming off the front road. I'm thinking Point Vista is the road to the west of us, we will not be utilizing that. We will all be coming in, we'll have a construction entrance there coming off of the front road 35. Where Tuberville Road is right there. That area, so, some part of the cross street right there is going to be inside the runway, but we're redoing some design on that right now. And what's acquired in the new design and gets approved by Textile in the state, and then when they decide how much more they've got to acquire, which I don't know. But that area, that intersection will belong to us throughout the duration of the project, 36 months to 40 years. And we will utilize as much of that as possible and keep open as much as possible, working with the cities and everything. And temporary access if we have to maintain it for a good living.
Sure.
I mean,
So this batch plant will be used, or this construction yard will be used for the entire project from what city to what city? I'm trying to understand why 42 months.
okay. What we'll do, when we talk about the office complex there, Textile will be in that complex also. We will be in there with a lab, okay, for testing materials. The asphalt plant will produce the asphalt from the north end of the lake to 380. And that's going to be coming in the last part of the phase of the project. Now, unless the front road comes up before then, we finish it up, then we'll get those taken care of and opened up for the people faster. We picked this area because of the fact that we've already got the utilities we need. We got to extend them and pay this when they bring them into the city that we need for that. But it's more centrally located to expedite the project. And again, we can set up in the middle of the highway. We can shut down the main line. We can shut down the front roads inside Textile right away and just set up right there. We don't want to have to do that because it keeps us in too much constraint. With this property and having offices, we're not doing it. And so what that does, it helps expedite. It kind of relieves a little bit of congestion and speeds up the process of it without having to come down south or other things we're going to be setting up, or even up north of the bridge. We're trying to speed it up and try to get it relieved as much as possible.
Can I just interject?
Absolutely.
I believe the 48 months is tied to phase 1 of the project, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so the project is going to be done in 2 phases. There's about a 48-month project that's phase 1. There will be some interim design changes. My understanding is that they will not expand, it will not go outside the footprint where it comes through in phase 1.
That's what they're expecting right now. They're going to go ahead for what they call the ultimate,
Right.
which is the next phase. And so what they're trying to do, and that might be why they hadn't got everything yet, is they're trying to acquire and see exactly how much footprint they need, because it may be more now for the ultimate, so they don't have to go through it again. So that's a possibility. Like I said, I can't speak for Textile, I don't know what they're thinking.
Anyway, that's the 48 months is
The 40
phase 1. Then
36 months to 42. But it's not like in that 36 months, you're going to have an asphalt plant running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's just not how it works. We need the asphalt once the road work is complete and we do the final time for it. And it's some of the bond rate that we have to take on the front end. So it's not like day one, you have a plant running constantly for 36 months. Yes, we do have to get it set up. It takes a while to get set up. Once the state permits, TCQ are issued. As far as the offices go for Textile,
lunchtime crowd sounds great, you know, that's always welcome in our town, more revenue to come in and eat lunch here. But I also heard no batch plant. Is that even an option to remove that from this plan?
Well, we won't put a concrete patch on it, we still need to put an asphalt. They are two different.
Yeah.
There is a concrete and an asphalt both.
We proposed that, but we can pull one, but the other would be in the gas and stuff that we need to bring in and asphalt that one. We would still have to that. We can pull the patch, no problem.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Approximately how many trucks would be going in and out of the construction yard on a daily average?
On a daily average, once high production, let's go with the high production. Because on a daily average, there's, you might see one or two. But now on high production times, you'd love to see 50. Brand new.
And how tall is the asphalt structure or the paving structure?
Okay, the asphalt plant itself is 22 feet. Yeah, and when you're thinking the concrete plant, the batch plants, you're talking 40 or 50 foot of silence. We don't need to put those
And
there.
are
We
you-
do need to put the small, the lower profile asphalt plant.
I'm a little confused. This is for phase one. Are you at some point proposing that this same construction yard would be here for phase two of the freeway?
We're not supposed to. I'm just asking for 36 months to 42 month SUP for that. Now, once the ultimate design is up to textile, so I can't speak to textile. I just know we have 42 months.
Okay, and you mentioned the noise level increase, like the noise of a truck. Can you repeat that so I can make sure I understand that?
Yes, when high peak areas, now, if anybody's been around a construction site or you're out here and you hear these trucks that run by when they let off the gas and inject brakes and they're squealing tires and stuff, your high peak noise of a highway, like ours was suggested and stuff, that would be comparable to the high peak noise of a small plant.
Okay, so what is the proposed hours that the noise would be there? I mean,
That's going to be hard to say. Your high production hours are going to be your normal operating hours, but now there will be some times that there could be, at night. I mean, we can't complete and be productive and get this highway open faster and try to be ahead. Our goal is to be a year ahead of schedule. We cannot do this for the traveling public or the people living if we can't run around the clock.
okay, so you're meeting 1, 2 a.m. in the morning even?
And that's just what we're doing.
You're shifting.
You have to run around the clock. And we request that. If not, I mean, we're gonna be out there doing it anyway. The highways, we're not gonna stop work at nighttime. We're gonna be on the right of way working.
So thank you, I appreciate your honesty on that. I noticed the parking for the employees are closer to the homes,
Yes.
so there would be employees coming and going 24/7.
Yes.
Okay, so that could increase noise to the
Yeah, door opening or shutting, yeah. But as far, most of the time what they do is they come in, we have a double shift. So they'll park and they're out on the right of way work. In the mornings when they come, they have a safety meeting, they go to work. They come back in, go home to their families. The night crew will come in, they go to work, they're out there on the right of way work. It just gives them a place to be secure, be parking, being secure with our security officers and everything. Our superintendents that work for us are instructed safety first. And safety first means the people around us too. So if noise or issues, then we'll address that.
Good. Other than, it's great to have that many employees in town because we certainly want the business. Other than that, what would be the benefit for anyone in Hickory Creek to have up to 50 trucks going in and out, the noise, why bring that so close to any subdivision?
Well, it's because of the constraints that we have in this corridor. And I'm sure y'all know it driving on 35. In the mornings and in the afternoons, where's the biggest block of this side of the lake? Because it's constrained so much. We want to get that open. And the 50 trucks still gonna run, and we're still gonna run around the clock 24 hours. What we wanna do is not be as constrained and go ahead and lease this property and get an SUP to the city, so we're not so tight in. But are they gonna keep running whether we get the SUP or not? Yes, they are. Is the construction gonna keep going 24/7? Yeah, we're going to. The more right of way that they go ahead and acquire for the ultimate, the more that we can utilize. But we don't want to be so squeezed in that we have to have flagger operations for people trying to go to work in the morning and get on the highway when we're all in the same area stretched out through here. So we want to be off of it and have our own way in and out so that we're not having that.
Do you do wildlife studies like the one citizen mentioned that there's bald eagles back there?
Oh, I've seen one, yes.
Would that prohibit this land from being used?
No, it wouldn't. We do on our ADWA reports and our environmental studies. We are doing our environmental studies right now with Corps of Engineers in the lake. There is a certain breed of snake there that we have to do a study on. There is, believe it or not, there is a certain breed of mussel. And it's not the zebra mussel, but there is a certain breed of mussel that is endangered that we have to do a study on. And if it's encountered, we have to relocate. But does it slow down the process in the construction? No, sir, it does not. Do we do these thoroughly? Yes, we do. As a contractor, our EPIC reports and our ESA and our phase 1 reports are very important to us. They the economy, the people who live here, the wildlife areas. And we do everything that we are asked to do contractually to abide by. And the studies that we have to do, and relocation, we pay for that. And we do it. But it doesn't stop it. No, sir, that's not.
I've got some comments, questions. Is TechStop not here?
No, sir.
So why did they not show up for the planning and zoning meeting or our meeting, just to answer questions about what benefits the town might have for this situation? Because you're hired by them, correct?
Yes, sir, I am. But they are not the ones asking for an SUP. We are the developer, they're the owner. So they don't ask for SUPs. And again, I can't speak for them.
I know, that's what you said in planning and zoning, but they're going to share this land with you.
Well, they're going to have an office there. And if we're contracting, whether we put it on that land or put it on the right, if we're under contract to give them an office.
Yeah, I just think they could have probably answered some questions just to help everybody out, including planning and zoning, including some citizens here as well. But I think you've done a great job with presentation from planning and zoning to here. I think you're professional with your situation here, and I think they probably did a good job picking you. Saying that, it doesn't mean Hickory Creek's the right location for this situation. I think you're professional, I think you set it up good, but I don't know if the location's the best spot in this situation. You've answered some great questions, you've answered more open comments in this meeting than the previous meeting as well. The one thing that I do know is other towns did say no to this situation, either be it asphalt, either be it what our ordinance might say for the foundation of this plant. Is it asphalt, gravel? What do you, the parking ones?
What would be flat?
Okay. But I know you're gonna go up and down the highway. I know Louisville, you said yes, or they said no to you as well?
Only in the heavy industrial zone.
Yeah, so, and that's where we are. We're a close-knit community, close to the highway, unfortunately. We don't want that industrial area around. I live in Lakeview. I have to see these folks every day. I walk the neighborhood weekly. I see these folks, I'll hear their stories again and again. I walk up and down Point Vista, I walk to Walmart. I unfortunately don't want to see something like that there. And I drive the roads just as much as everybody else is, and you said they're going to be there regardless or not. You're kind of saying TechStop might be in our land that they've already acquired anyways, so this still might happen in our town. That kind of comes across negative to me. Hopefully they don't pick a spot. They go in the middle of the highway, good for them. I mean, I've seen 635, I've seen 121. It's not a pretty sight. I don't want to see it for 4 years. I don't want to get yelled at for 4 years from our citizens. I don't want to see it for 4 years. But again, from your standpoint, you've done a great job, I think, from start to finish. But it's going to be hard without any benefits to the city and the citizens that put up with this for 4 years to say yes.
It's a tough one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Appreciate it. I don't think I have any further questions. I think I have a list and I checked them off as everybody has this. A lot of us had the same questions. Council discussion.
I just wanted to add to that, if I may, that, you know, I've heard both sides, and it's a massive undertaking on the part of TxDOT, and I applaud their efforts to get this done, and I appreciate that. I think we all will in the long run. There's a lot of things we're gonna have to tolerate, things we can't do anything about. But I come back to the part of putting this town together in relation to the growth and trying to keep it, you know, clean and neat and presentable and attractive to people. And I don't care how many standards EPA has as far as pollution, etc. I've seen this before where somebody has to complain about it before, you know, EPA comes out and takes a sample, and then they take it back to the labs, and then they have to analyze it and decide, well, you shouldn't be sick, it's 2 parts under what it's supposed to be. That to me, you can't prevent a lot of stuff that's going to be in the air, and for me, it just doesn't fit. It's not in the mix as far as what we're trying to do to present Hickory Creek as a small community that's growing and trying to keep it nice and attractive, but move forward. I wanted to add that.
Mayor Brinkley?
Sure.
I also appreciate the professionalism. I enjoyed your comments. I guess my thoughts are, if Louisville turned this down in an industrial area, or what area?
It was heavy industrial is allowed, and we do have a spot over there. One of our joint ventures has construction right there already. We're trying to move further north to speed up the process. In the heavy industrial area, we can go ahead and put, but we need to move further north to help speed it up. And so TxDOT says, well, where do you want to go? And we say, go ahead. I'll pick this area because it's kind of in the middle of the north end of the project, and we can speed it up. And again, we're going to be out there 24/7.
I understand. Going back to what Mr. Gordon said earlier, though, I was also on the council 7 years ago when we had hundreds of citizens come forth and present the vision of Hickory Creek. I just have a very, very hard time putting this next to any neighborhood, whether that be Lakeview, Harvard Road, anything on the east side. I think this town is going to go through enough with the freeway construction. We're going to be in a major headache. I think it's too much to bear for our town.
I think, you know, it's pretty obvious that we're going to go through 4 to 10 years of difficulty here. You know, it's going to be painful. When you look at Grapevine and you know, they've gone through great difficulties. You know, obviously now they're great. You know, they're excited to see 114 about to be finished early. And like you said, we'd love to see this finished early. So I don't know, any other discussion before we take a vote?
We got a few final comments.
Okay.
I appreciate Mr. Whaley being here and speaking on your behalf of your family. Man, you deserve to get paid. You deserve to do what you want to do with your land. So thanks for speaking up. But at this point, I'm at a point to where there's 14 homes that every morning when they wake up and they look out their back window, they're going to see, you know, if they've got an 8-foot fence, they're going to see the remaining 22 feet of the concrete plant. And I can't do that to those 14 homes on Whitney. Even if it were in our master plan to have some industrial, and if it had been the vision of this town, you know, if we didn't have to go through the SUP process, we'd all accept it. But this is just, in my opinion, too much to bear without enough gain for the rest of the citizens. There's nothing in it for anybody else here other than TxDOT and for you, which you deserve that. But I can't do that at the expense of 14 other neighbors that have to see it every day.
Mr. Gordon, may I ask something?
That's how it's.
Lance, is this okay to entertain a question?
Just a short
Question, yes.
point. You can't see the back pasture from Point Vista Road, nor can you see it from Kirbyville. the area he's talking about for the patch.
So if I'm standing in a backyard on Whitney Street, I can't see it, something that's 22 feet in the air.
The barrier they're putting up in the 300 yard, 300 foot is high enough that you will not be able to see the plant from anywhere except the service road.
I never heard that said, and I don't envision a 22-foot fence.
They would comply with anything they needed to do.
You wouldn't see it, you wouldn't need to, some of the trees are all around.
If it's in anybody's backyard, it's in mine.
Exactly. I'm concerned about your health as well.
Well, we just had a dust storm came over from North Africa. I was there, and the lady heard the people complaining about it. I was there for 7 days.
We need to move on here.
Yes,
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we reject a special use permit to install a construction yard on the property located east of 1140 Point Vista.
Okay, Councilman Weiser has made a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll say.
Councilman Dupree seconds. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Okay. Get the mayor. Let's just take a 5-minute break real quick, and we will reconvene in 5.